Grand Parody Towers. It stood tall in Mumbai, a beacon of hope. Families yearned to live within its walls. They sought peace, prosperity. The year was 2003. Laughter echoed in the halls. Children played in the courtyard. Life was good, the future bright. Then 2004 arrived. It began like any other year. But fate had other plans. Tragedy struck. Plus. On the 8th floor, an elderly couple resided. They were loved by all. Their smiles, infectious. Their laughter, a melody. One day, the melody ceased. The smiles vanished. The couple was found dead. Their lifeless bodies, a chilling sight. Suicide. The word spread like wildfire. It consumed the building's joy. Fear took root. The once vibrant atmosphere turned somber. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The once bustling building began to fall silent. Whispers began to circulate among the residents. They spoke of strange occurrences that defied explanation. Unexplained noises echoed through the hallways at odd hours. Shadows seemed to move on their own, flickering in the corners of one's vision. Doors creaked open, seemingly on their own, even when no one was near. The 8th floor, once a place of warmth and laughter, became a cold, eerie space that everyone avoided. The elderly couple who had lived there for decades passed away, leaving their apartment to their unsuspecting family. The family, eager to start a new chapter in their lives, moved in, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. They would soon learn the true cost of their inheritance. The first night was uneventful, but as days passed, they began to notice the oddities. Lights flickered without reason. Objects moved from their places. The air grew colder, and an unsettling feeling of being watched pervaded their home. The children spoke of a shadowy figure that seemed to linger in the corners of their rooms. The haunting had truly begun, and there was no turning back. The family on the 8th floor began to experience terrifying events. Objects moved mysteriously. Disembodied whispers filled the air. Cold spots sent chills down their spines. They tried to ignore it, to rationalize it. But the paranormal activity intensified. Fear tightened its grip on their hearts. Something was terribly wrong. They were not alone. Section 5. Fleeing the terror, empty halls, and broken dreams. One by one, families fled Grand Parody Towers, driven away by fear. The once full building became eerily empty. The laughter of children, replaced by an unsettling silence. The smell of spices and home-cooked meals, gone. Only the stench of fear remained. The building stood, a shell of its former self, a testament to the terror that had taken root. Section 6. Michael's Encounter. A brush with the unknown. Years passed. The stories of Grand Parody Towers faded into urban legend. Then, Michael came along. A young journalist, drawn to the macabre. He wanted to see for himself, to experience the truth behind the tales. He rented an apartment on the 7th floor. He would soon regret his decision. One night, he heard it. A blood-curdling scream. It came from the 8th floor. He rushed to investigate. Michael had always been fascinated by the unknown, the eerie, and the unexplained. His curiosity often led him to places others would avoid. Grand Parody Towers was no exception. The building had a dark history, filled with whispers of ghostly apparitions and unexplained disappearances. Despite the warnings, Michael was determined to uncover the truth. He spent days researching, talking to former residents, and gathering every piece of information he could find. The 7th floor apartment he rented was said to be one of the most haunted. Strange noises, cold spots, and flickering lights were common occurrences. But Michael was undeterred. He set up cameras and recording devices, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. That fateful night, as he lay in bed, the scream pierced the silence. It was unlike anything he had ever heard. His heart raced as he grabbed his flashlight and dashed out of his apartment. The hallway was eerily quiet, the air thick with tension. He made his way to the 8th floor, each step echoing in the stillness. What he found there would change his life forever. Section 7. The Spiritual Healer. A desperate attempt to cleanse. Michael's story spread like wildfire, igniting a renewed sense of fear and dread surrounding the infamous Grand Parody Towers. The building's owners, gripped by desperation, sought any means to rid their property of the malevolent presence that had taken hold. They called upon a renowned spiritual healer, a man whose reputation for battling dark forces was unparalleled. He was seen as a beacon of hope in their time of despair, a last resort in their fight against the unknown. The healer arrived one stormy evening, his eyes filled with a mixture of concern and determination. He could sense the darkness even before stepping inside. It was powerful, malevolent, and deeply entrenched within the very walls of the building. The air was thick with an oppressive energy that seemed to whisper of untold horrors. Undeterred, the healer began his work. He performed ancient rituals, drawing upon knowledge passed down through generations. He chanted prayers in a language long forgotten by most, each word resonating with a sacred power. He moved through the building, room by room, fighting to cleanse the space of its sinister inhabitants. The battle was intense, a clash between light and dark, hope and despair. The healer's resolve never wavered as he confronted the malevolent forces head-on, determined to restore peace to Grand Parody Towers. Section 8. The Aftermath. Silence and fear remain. The spiritual healer's efforts seem to have worked. The paranormal activity ceased. A tense silence fell over Grand Parody Towers, but the fear lingered. Residents remained wary. They knew the silence could be shattered at any moment. The 8th floor remained sealed. No one dared to enter. It stood as a chilling reminder of the terror that had gripped the building. Section 9. Suicide Point. A name whispered in fear. Word spread throughout Mumbai. Grand Parody Towers became known as Suicide Point. People whispered the name with a mix of fear and fascination. The building stood as a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface. No one dared to live there. No one dared to challenge the spirits that haunted its halls. Section 10. Conclusion. The lingering shadow of Grand Parody Towers. Grand Parody Towers. Once a beacon of hope, now a desolate monument to tragedy. Its story, a chilling reminder. Evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. It can transform peace into terror, and it can leave an indelible mark on the lives it touches. The building stands as a warning, a testament to the enduring power of fear.